today I wanted to go over 6 albums that could get you into goth and darkwave if you're not into it and don't know much about it. Um, so I wanted to start with the band Joy Division, which I'm sure most people have heard of, and I wanted to talk about their second album, which is Closer. Um, this album is definitely my favorite of the two that they released, and I love that I consider this more of a darkwave album than just a goth album because of just the feel that is coming from this album is just a lot different than their first album, which is way more just post-punk feel to it. This adds a lot more electronics and just atmosphere that I love a lot. The next on the list I have is The Cure's Disintegration. Another album I'm sure most people have heard of once or twice in their life. This came out in the late 80s. I just consider just more of a straight up goth album to an extent. I mean, definitely darkwave too, as it has a lot of electronic elements in it. But yeah, it's just a great all around album. The Cure is just a definitive goth band. You can't get into goth without listening to The Cure. This album's looked at as their masterpiece. I can probably somewhat agree with that, although I do prefer Pornography over it just a bit more. It's a journey of an album and a very beautiful album, so definitely listen to it if you haven't. Next I have what most people consider a true goth band is Susie and the Banshees with their second album, Juju. This was them coming and finding their sound in the early 80s, and this is looked at as a classic goth album. So the next I have is Clan of Zymox, Medusa. I talked about this in my last video about my Desert Island video, so if you haven't seen that, check that out too. This is looked at as probably one of the first darkwave albums that really came out in the early 80s, and they just absolutely killed it and just wrapped up the sound so well right here, created the sound basically, and this album is just perfect. It's really incredible. Everything that I love about darkwave is in this album. So next I have the Cocteau Twins with their first album, Garlands. They changed their sound a lot later on. They developed their own kind of sound after this, but this is going to be like the next band I'm going to talk about as well. They started off with that just post-punk goth darkwave sound at the beginning of their career, and they killed it as well. It's just straight up perfectly good goth album, and Elizabeth's vocals are just incredible, and just the percussion and the sounds that it creates, the dark atmosphere it creates, just incredible. And the last one I want to talk about is Dead Can Dance with their self-titled debut. This another band that completely created their own different kind of sound later on, even just in their next album. And yeah, this is just another great darkwave album that kind of started out their career as well. I wouldn't say any of these are more than like you should listen to one before the other. I think they're all just kind of even in a way, depending on what you like. But yeah, if you're looking to get into darkwave goth music, definitely check these albums out and tell me what you think down below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.